Welcome to FN Sharp and Plums, a different twist to a familiar cookie, the oatmeal cookie. We'll take some fresh plums and using our FN Sharp paring knife, simply cut down until you hit the stone in the middle, right? So on the stone fruit, this paring knife is a perfect tool for the job. Just simply cut around the stone on the inside. Be careful, and just when it's almost fully dislodged, pull that out, and we'll get to cutting into wedges here. And then from the wedges, we'll simply cut into about a 1/2 inch dice. You can cut it on the flesh side up or the skin side up, right on your FN Sharp cutting board. And then we'll go ahead and take the slices. Like I said, we'll make these small dices on here. They don't have to be perfectly uniform. It's a cookie, but you can also cut off the cheeks. That's what I'm doing here by cutting down just the sides right on the side of that stone. And then same thing, we'll cut into slices and then into about a 1/2 inch dice. And then we'll set that aside and we'll get going on our cookies. Butter, gotta have it, lots of it, good stuff. Then some white sugar as well as some light brown sugar. And you'll want, if you don't have a stand mixer, you can always do this by hand. I mean, what did they do back in the day, right? Just make sure it's creamed. You're gonna have to work at it. If you're doing it by hand, make sure it's well incorporated, that sugar into the butter. Then one whole large egg, one at a time. Get that blended in there very nicely. And then once that's all incorporated, we're going to add a little cornstarch to our plum. That's going to tighten up any of the juices. That way our cookies aren't soggy. They'll bake up real nice and those plums will hold together. That cornstarch is gonna make the juices tacky. Vanilla, imitation vanilla, the cheap stuff is good for baking. And use a little bit more than any recipe calls. That's a little secret. To our AP flour, that's all-purpose flour, a little baking soda and baking powder. Sift that together just to get it all broken and loosen up. And then we're gonna add a little bit of cinnamon. Gotta add some flavor in there. And then we'll add some old-fashioned rolled oats. Give that a good mix. And then when your dry is mixed, you can go ahead and add that to your wet mix. And you're gonna incorporate that very well. You wanna make sure it's all well incorporated. And then we'll add our plums to our cookie mixture. And the thing is not to over mix this in there. You just want to kind of gently fold and mix it in as best as you can without going crazy. You don't want to mash up all that beautiful fruit. You just want it to show through and kind of be evenly dispersed onto a baking sheet. We're going to bake these at 375 for about 40 minutes. I'm using a 3 tablespoon scoop. Once the cookies are fully cooled off, we'll have a nice cinnamon glaze to them. I mean, just take it up another notch of flavor. Why not? These are fantastic, soft, delicious, little sweet tartness from the plum. You just can't go wrong. Very interesting twist and a delicious twist at that. Follow fnsharp.com for more.